at the workplace, today in Australia, on average, 59% of Australian workplaces are made up of Generation X and Y. And when you look at our boomers, they make up 80% of senior executive roles, 91% of board positions, and they are motivated by job security, financial security, public recognition for their skills and career success, status symbols, and acceptance by others. And for those who say, I'm not like that, what our social research shows is maybe you're not like that, but there's good news and bad news about research on generations, and being the eternal optimist, I'll give you the bad news first. 85% of people do actually fit the profile, the behaviours and the characteristics of the generation into which they are born. The good news is 15% don't. And I'm sure everyone in this room thinks they're in the 15%, and that's cool. You don't need my permission. But 85% of people do fit those profiles. And when you look at it, the managers are motivated by job security and financial security and status and recognition and acceptance, but the 5 key motivators for our Gen Xers is effective leadership, challenging work, access to training and development, particularly soft skills training, something not valued in Australian organisations yet, coaching, and a work-life balance. And for our Gen Ys, it's inspiring leadership, being respected for their entrepreneurial skills, their innovation and their technology skills, being mentored, access to training and development, particularly life skills training, not technical training or product training, and flexibility. And when you say to a Gen X, so we now know 59% of the number one motivator for both the youngest generations in the workplace is leadership. And you say to a Gen X, what does effective leadership mean to you? And they say, managers and leaders who do what they say they will do. It's quite simple. Be authentic. It's okay to say you don't know the answer. We'll respect you more if you actually say you don't know than if you pretend that you do know. And then you say to our Gen Ys, what does inspiring leadership mean? And they say, I want to work for someone who loves what they do so much that they're willing to teach me and show me what they know. They say, do you know how boring it is to work for somebody who whinges all day and hates their job? They go, we just leave. We just leave. And I'd like to wrap up my segment by just doing 2 things. I just want to talk about change because it's the only constant thing left in life. And then just give you my 2 or 3 points on why I believe the leadership model needs to move from command and control to inclusion and collaboration. If you think about change, board members are responsible for 3 things: strategy, vision and change. And I go, yep, we can tick vision. They've got lots of experience, up to 40 years, some of them. Yes, we can tick strategy, lots of work experience again, but change? I mean, it would be rude for me to roll around here on the stage laughing, but the veteran generation is the generation most resistant to change, and they are the generation responsible for directing change in organisations. And what they do is they hand it over to us, the baby boomers. Now remember, we're cool and we're open to learning, sort of. And we get given the change program because we're the senior executives. And we go, okay, we'll manage this change, we'll manage this change. And we'll start and we'll go, can't somebody else have a go first? Because if they have a go first and they succeed, we can copy them, we can share the credit. If we're clever, we can steal the credit and change the name. Or we can say, if it fails, well, I told you so, it wasn't going to work anyway. But we've now been told we have to manage the change. So we take it and we manage it. We get to the end of the change program, watching over our shoulders at who's going to stab us in the back and undermine the change program. We finish it and we go, thank God that's over. Let's just go back over here where it's comfortable, because the change is for those other people over there who report to us, not us in leadership. We're cool, we know everything, we've got all the answers. And in the background, you've got Generation X going, pick me, pick me, pick me, because they like change. And they see change as a way to learn new skills. And they see change as a way to stretch themselves. They see change as an opportunity to take a risk, because veterans and boomers are risk averse. And yet our Gen X's and Gen Ys are risk takers, and we're not using them on change programs. And on the sideline, the Gen Ys stand and go, what is wrong with all those old people over there? Because if you're over 27-year-old, okay, they go, why do they even talk about change? Change is what happens every day. They don't even understand why we have the conversation about change. And no better a place is there to see the attitude to change than in technology, where our veterans don't like technology. They see it as an unnecessary evil. Great example, senior partner in a law firm gets the latest IBM laptop. He's got it on his desk because he wants all the young Gen X and Gen Y lawyers to think he's cool and he's up to date with technology. But every day his secretary prints out his emails and gives them to him in hard copy. And he writes the responses on the hard copy and gives them back to her so she can send them out from his email address. But wait, there's more, like the steak knives. He said to me, Avril, check this out. He goes, these new laptops, they think of everything. Presses a button, he goes, look, the new laptops even have a holder for your takeaway coffee. He goes, but there's a design flaw. It's too big for the takeaway coffee cup. I'm going, maybe because it's designed for a CD, not takeaway coffee. I rest my case. We're the boomers. We've got all the latest technology. We've got the latest mobile phones. We've got laptops. We've got Blackberries. Some of us call them blueberries because we can't even get the name right. And here's the thing. We don't know how to use 80% of the functionality. We don't know how to use 80% of the functionality. But we've got the technology. X have been using it since school and high school. But you know, for veterans, for boomers and Generation X, all of them, technology, laptops, home computers, mobile phones, have always been business tools first. For a Gen Y, they're social communication tools and have been since they were toddlers. To them, a browser is not someone in a bookshop, a mouse is not a rodent, and a virus is something your computer gets rather than a human being. They have never used a typewriter. They have never used or seen carbon paper. And when I showed them when I was doing a focus group on communication, I brought out my turntable and my long-playing albums and pointed out that Sting and Santana were our icons before theirs, and they're going, whatever. The first thing they said was, oh my God, when were you a DJ in a nightclub? I was going, I was never a DJ in a nightclub. They're going, but only DJs have turntables and vinyls. I'm going, no, we all did. They went, that must be in the really old days. I went, no, 83, 84. They're going, that is the really old days. My point is, for the first time in employment history, the youngest generation in the workplace knows more about something than their parents and their grandparents put together. And if you have a change program, give it to an X to manage. If it's got technology in it, fill the team with Gen Ys who then actually want to be mentored and coached by the veterans and boomers. But here's the thing, they have the best BS detectors. They know if you don't like them. They want to be mentored, in their words, by cool older people who like and respect young people. My closing message to you is that inclusive and collaborative leadership is about listening more. I had a very wise maternal grandmother. I now realise how important she was in my life, and dedicated my first book to her. When I became school captain, she said, you better learn to listen, darling, because she said, it's a really important thing to do when you're a leader. She said, after all, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, because he expected us to listen more than he expected us to speak. We need to listen more. We need to ask more questions, because you learn more by asking questions than telling people. We need to actually engage people at all levels of the organisation, and we need to direct less. One of my favourite quotes about the future is from Alvin Toffler, and it's my challenge to you today. I believe that everyone in this room has the ability to be successful, but your success will lie in your ability to learn, to unlearn, and to relearn. Are you ready to learn new ways of thinking and doing, and have openness and tolerance and acceptance of difference to what is different to you? Are you willing to unlearn old habits? And are you ready to relearn new ways of thinking, new ways of communicating, and new ways of working? Because with diversity, in my mind, comes greatness. With diversity comes opening our minds to enormous potential. Diversity is about strength, not about difference. Thank you very much.